Alright, we're going to finish up section 10 of the Pharmacist Manual overview. So, starting with central filling of prescriptions, you have to complete DA Form 224. Central must be staffed by licensed pharmacists. Prescription dispense must be transported to a retail pharmacy that initially received the prescription. Label must contain a unique identifier. Cannot accept a prescription directly from the patient or practitioner. Cannot deliver prescription directly to patient or practitioner. Must have contractual agreement with the retail pharmacy or the same owner. Must keep a list of pharmacies. Must verify DEA registration. So a retail pharmacy using a central fill pharmacy, they have to keep a list of central fill pharmacies used. They may contract with central fill pharmacies out of state. Both states must allow the activity. Must fax controlled substance prescriptions to a central fill pharmacy. Not must, they may. So you may fax a controlled substance prescription to your central fill pharmacy. You may transmit them electronically. So now moving on to internet pharmacies, they must be good faith and prescriber must examine patient prior to issue of prescriptions. So someone can't just fill out an online waiver. That's what happened to Ryan 8. The Controlled Substance Act provided that the prescription has to be for a legitimate medical purpose by the practitioner who has conducted at least one in-person medical evaluation of the patient. And they might have a state law on this. Check that out. Pharmacy must obtain a DEA permit, the internet prescription pharmacy. Notify DEA a minimum of 30 days prior to dispensing as an internet pharmacy. Place on their website that they are compliant with federal law. Include the statement, this online pharmacy will only dispense a controlled substance to a person who has a valid prescription issued for a legitimate medical purpose based on medical relationship with the prescribing practitioner. This includes at least one prior in-person medical evaluation or medical evaluation via telemedicine in accordance with acceptable requirements. So here, let's see, automated dispensing systems, ADS, in long-term care facilities, no compounding or administration, intent to minimize amounts of controlled substances. Remember, long-term care facilities do not have to register. So central records subject to conditions. So, if you have a central location where your record store, I think you have 48 hours to do that, but execute order forms, prescriptions, and inventory records cannot be maintained centrally. They must be at registered locations. So that's your execute order forms, prescriptions, and inventory records must be at the locations. May produce within 2 business days if requested by the DEA, or allow the DEA to inspect without a warrant. Records of all Scheduled 1 and 2 must be maintained separately from all other pharmacy records. So inventory records, it's when you get or return an order. Initial inventory every 2 years. Also, another inventory must be taken within 2 years of the previous one. It can be the beginning or close of the business day, not during, written, typewritten, or printed. Exact count of Scheduled 1 and 2. Estimates on 3, 4, and 5. But if there's a container that holds over 1,000 tablets or capsules, which you're probably not going to find, an exact count is required of the 3, 4, 5. Inventory must include substance, dosage form, strength, number of units or volume, and number of controls. So records of receipts, invoice acceptable for schedules 3, 4, and 5 for 2, 1, and 2, but 2. DA Form 222 needs to be kept. Date of receipt must be written on the form of invoice. Records must be readily retrievable. So your records must contain the name of the substance, dosage form, strength, number of units or volume, number of containers, date of receipt, name, address, and registration number of supplier. Your records of dispersal, so you need prescriptions, record books, 222, invoices, institutional records, records of disposal, records of theft or loss. So disposal is 41, theft or loss is 106. Prescription records, there are 2 methods to file. So you have the 3 separate files, which is you have 2. A file for 2, you have a file for 3, 4, 5, and you have a file for non-controls. The other option is to combine non-controls with 3, 4, 5, but you need to have that big over than 1 inch red C stamp on the 3, 4, and 5. Unless, of course, it's electronic. You just have to have a way to find the prescription, number, name, etc. So distribution from pharmacy to another practitioner, you must record this. Name of substance, dosage form, strength of the substance, number of units and volume, number of containers, date of distribution, name, address, registration, and who is distributed. If it's a C2, Form 222. Now, for distributing from pharmacy to another practitioner, cannot exceed 5% distributed within 1 year. If not, you would have to register as a distributor, I believe. Institutional medication records. Remember, medication orders are not prescriptions under the under the Controlled Substance Act. Medication order for take-home medications do need a prescription in the hospital. So disposal or destruction of controlled substances. You should ask your DEA for instructions, like the drug take-back day. And then there's Form 41. Records of loss or theft, so significant loss or theft must be reported within 1 day of discovery using DEA Form 106. DEA Order Form 222 contain name of address and registration number of restraint, issued in mailing envelopes that contain 7 or 14 forms, serial numbered. Registrants cannot change or correct info on the forms, and they must contact the DEA to change or any of the correct info on the forms. So you must know how to complete the form. And I'll upload a separate video with more details. So the first 2 copies are submitted to your supplier, and copy 3 is retained for your records as you are the purchaser. So you keep copy 3, copy 1 and 2 are sent to the supplier. And definitely check out my DA form video that I'm going to upload. So when you have an order received from a supplier, record information on your copy, which is 3, number of containers received of each item, and the date received. So basically you keep your copy, send those, and come back and then you finish filling out your copy. The electronic DEA ordering system, CSOS, is for you can order controlled substance, including it does substitute DEA Form 222. You must apply for a digital certificate for signing. Proof of identity. Can order substances not in Schedule 1-2. Cannot serve multiple locations, but one location can have multiple certificates. There is the power of attorney, which is not, from my understanding, not sent to the DEA, but it gives other people the power to execute order forms. May be revoked at any time by a person granting the power. Distribution of C2 drugs between registers, so you still need to do 222. Purchasing pharmacy still needs to keep copy 3 and send the first 2 to the pharmacy selling the drug. Also used for transfer of business and used for return to wholesale manufacturer. So lost or stolen forms do re-execute order noting the serial number lost. If they're stolen, you report to the DEA immediately via DEA Form 106. If you lost the DEA 106 form, you still do the 106. DEA forms should be kept for 1 year, according to this, but that's what it says. So the pharmacist manual. Moving on. Well, actually, there's nothing to move on to. Let me see if I have some notes I wanted to mention. DEA Form 224, register with the DEA, and you can actually request some 222 forms from that. That's important to know. Let's see, a pharmacy must have a separate registration for the ADS for a long-term care facility. The ADS still needs a valid prescription to use. So, and then let's see. Yeah, data-away physicians. Alright. Thanks, guys. I will upload an Alabama-specific controlled substance. You can check that out and compare it to your state.